Most people are dangerously low on fiber. I'm Dr. Sabrina Falquier, and today I'm going to tell you what you need to know about fiber and how to fix the fiber gap. And if I could tell you just one thing this week to improve your fiber intake, stick around to the end to hear what it is. Hello everyone, I'm so excited to talk about fiber. Let's be honest, being regular is a dream for many people, and I want to help you achieve that. And it goes a long way for your overall health as well. What happens if you don't get enough fiber over time? Let's start with what you feel first. If you're not getting enough fiber, the most immediate symptoms are often constipation, bloating, and gas. Fiber helps bulk up your stool and keeps things moving regularly through your digestive system. Now, let's take that a step further. Fiber is not just about digestion. It plays a central role in your overall health. Long-term, low fiber intake is associated with an increased risk of conditions like colon cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. And one of the most important pieces here is the gut microbiome. Fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. When you don't eat enough fiber, those bacteria don't thrive. That affects how well you break down food, how nutrients are processed, and how your immune system functions. There's also evidence that low fiber intake can impact the integrity of the gut lining, including the protective mucus layer. When that layer is compromised, it may allow substances through that your body's not meant to absorb, contributing to inflammation and potentially increasing your risk of immune-related conditions. So, while the short-term symptoms are uncomfortable, the long-term impact is much bigger than that. How can you tell if you're not getting enough fiber? Constipation is one of the most obvious signs, but it's not always that clear. Sometimes it's simply not having regular bowel movements. If you're going every few days instead of daily, or at least every other day, that may be a sign that your fiber intake is low. Other clues can include feeling bloated, often, or just not feeling quite right in your digestion. Your body gives you feedback. We just have to learn to recognize it. What are good sources of fiber? This is the beautiful part. Fiber comes from plants, so anything that grows from the ground or on a plant contains fiber. Think about building your plate with vegetables, whole fruits, whole grains, and plant-based proteins. And the plant-based proteins include things like legumes, which are foods that grow in a pod. So beans, lentils, chickpeas, edamame, and soy foods like tofu. That is where culinary medicine comes in. And it's not just knowing that fiber is important, it's actually knowing how to bring it into your plate in a way that is enjoyable and sustainable. A simple example could be adding lentils to a salad, tossing vegetables into a stir fry, or choosing whole fruit as a snack or a dessert. The goal is not perfection, it's increasing variety and frequency from the plant kingdom. And one important note here, whenever possible, it's best to get your fiber from foods, not supplements. Whole foods don't just provide fiber, they also contain vitamins and minerals and other beneficial compounds that work together to support your health. Fiber supplements can have a specific role in certain situations, but they don't replace what you get from food. How much fiber do you need per day, and how much is too much? Here's a concerning statistic. Only about 5 to 10% of Americans meet their daily fiber needs. And the general recommendation is about 25 grams per day for women and 38 grams per day for men. And most people are getting far less than that, less than 50% of that. So what does it look like in a day? It could be oatmeal with berries in the morning, where you could add a tablespoon of chia or ground flax seeds, a lentil or bean-based dish for lunch, vegetables and a whole grain like quinoa or red or forbidden rice at dinner, and fruits or nuts as snacks or desserts. Now, can you get too much fiber? Believe it or not, there's certain populations around the world where people eat over 80 to 100 grams of fiber per day, and they have incredibly diverse and healthy gut microbiomes. But here's the key point. If you go from a really low fiber to suddenly eating a lot more, you may feel bloated and gassy. That's not a bad thing. It just means your gut is adjusting. So a simpler way and a kinder way, a recommendation is to increase fiber gradually and drink enough water for your system to adapt to that change. And if you notice changes like frequent bowel movements or see blood or persistent mucus in your stool, that's not about fiber alone, or it may not be about fiber at all. Listen to your body. This is informational, not diagnostic. So if something feels off, reaching out to your healthcare team is really important. This week, improve your fiber intake with one thing. Here are a few options. Choose one that feels realistic for you. You could go to the store, buy a bag of apples or grapes or mandarins, place them on your table, and reach for them twice a day. Grab one on your way to work, eat one as a snack when you re-enter your home, or as a dessert. You could also look at your plate and simply ask, where can I add more plants? That might mean adding vegetables to a dish you already make. It might mean choosing whole grain instead of refined grain, such as having whole wheat pasta rather than white pasta. It might mean trying a plant-based meal like bean tacos, a vegetable stir fry, or a simple curry. You can even add chia or ground flax, 1 tablespoon, to your yogurt or smoothie or oatmeal in the morning. You don't have to eliminate anything. You want to think about adding, not restricting. And make it specific and achievable. For example, I will eat 2 fruits a day, 4 days a week for the next 2 weeks. Small, clear, and doable, because every little bit really does count. Fiber is one of the most powerful tools we have of improving our health, and it's entirely within our reach. Start small, stay consistent, and let your plate do the work. Salud and bon appetit. Remember to subscribe to Alternative Food Network's YouTube channel for more, and you can also find the full audio podcast about fiber on Culinary Medicine Recipe, an Alternative Food Network podcast available wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hello, please note that the content or opinions in this episode are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you are uncertain if an ingredient mentioned here is suitable for your diet due to allergies or other reasons, please discuss with your doctor or other qualified healthcare provider.